Subaru sleeping with Carson. Safety disclosure is don't do anything that's dangerous. Don't do anything that I've done. Do everything that you want to do the way you want to do it, not the way I did it. Don't get in trouble. Be safe and wear safety protection.
Herein lies the rub. I'm 6'3", and I'd like to go camping in my Subaru Crosstrek. But most setups, there's all kinds of different ones, they usually encompass the space of the seats folded down, that little gap behind the driver's and passenger front seats, and usually you push them all the way forward. But really it maxes out at individuals around 5'9". I'm 6'3". I have other friends who are much taller, and I'd like to be able to encompass the full amount of the interior space, but also not compromise on cargo space. So now I have a solution. The solution is to work off of the 87-inch platform that I created that encompasses pretty much the entire usable space inside the Subaru Crosstrek. But the thing that I need to be able to do is break the platform down in half. I want to be able to use both the back space but also the front driver's and passenger seat, because if I want to go and take my wife with me, or if I want to go and hang out with a buddy and then also camp in the car, I need to be able to use both front seats but also carry a platform that encompasses the entire space. Now it's time to cannibalize all of my current platforms in order to bring a solution to fruition. In this first thought process, I was trying again to encompass the entire usable space of the Subaru, and I thought it would be cool to have one platform and then have this other platform kind of fold out almost like a book and encompass the other side. But later, I find out that this was a ridiculous thought, and I did have to change it. The next order of business was getting everything to one cohesive shape or length. I had all these odds and ends from all the cannibalized platforms, so now I'm getting it in order. I also realized I really needed to open up the end, which meant some more disassembling, but in the end, it worked out great for storage containers. When cutting the platforms in half, you have 40 inches in the back towards the cargo area and 40 inches going towards the front of the car. Now, I do have that secondary brace that rests on the center console with another post going down by each door. But when I sat on it, it became kind of a seesaw motion, so I needed a brace to go underneath the platform. And I added it, and it ended up working really well. I added a latch at the top to keep them from sliding apart. I then realized I needed to move the latch to the bottom, and I also realized I needed to add a secondary brace to form a true slot in which the platform could slide into, making a secure connection. I also realized I needed some solid boards underneath there instead of, again, all my scab together leftover wood. I also needed some robust clamps or latches. I really needed to be able to get the platform as close as I could and then latch those on there, and it really make a very, very secure bond. And now we have the finished project. A slot that slides in, combining the back 40 to the front 40, the clamps that secure it together, and the ultimate sleeping platform, the one and only platform that you will need, whether you're solo, camping, or together with a pair. This thing is awesome. Now I just need to cover the remaining bare wood with carpet, but instead of buying more carpet, I just took the carpet off of the old platforms that I had cannibalized to make this awesome platform. But in doing so, I realized that I really did use too many screws when fastening them together, so you can in fact use too many screws. Feast your eyes on a completed project. Now let's load it up in the car. The cargo cover has to come off, the rear seats have to be laid down, the front seats have to be pushed all the way forward with the headrest taken off and laid down as well in order to put on the front braces on the front and right side, and then the platforms can be loaded in. The front sections of the brace are self-explanatory. They just get loaded in and slid into the little slots. Make sure to latch them securely. And the other side gets laid in as well. It's awesome how it just slides right in. I know I like to use the word awesome a lot, but I like it. It's an awesome word. Done. Dun 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 dun. Of course, you can take any sort of gear you want. I just wanted to show you a couple examples to illustrate the ample space here, right up there, there, right behind there, down here. I'd also like to add that I didn't show putting anything in those clear plastic containers, but obviously they could be used for storage as well. Now let's put in the air mattresses I have, which again are a 1.5-inch Kelty self-inflating air mattresses, which I really like and have been comfortable with when sleeping on these platforms before. Lay these out, little squishing on the edges, and they seem to all fit great. Again, I have Kelty sleeping bags. Not paid to do any of these ads, just I like Kelty. Getting all this in here and getting ready to climb in myself. I'm going to show you, I don't have two people today, but I do have myself. I'll climb in there and then I'll show you how it fits great. And also you can maneuver around on it. I use these little handles, as I've said before, to get in and out of the car. They're very helpful. But it's very solid. I mean, I'm maneuvering all around on it right now and don't feel anything coming apart, which is good. And lots of room for me. Now I'm 6'3". I had plenty of room, and I move over to the other side here in just a minute and show you that I think there would be plenty of room for another individual my size or perhaps a little bit bigger. Definitely works out very well. Now, the way I'll be using it is in the singular form, just myself, which is really nice. I have tons of room to sprawl out, stretch out. Anything I'd like to do is great, and I'm really happy on how this turned out. I also will be sleeping most likely on the other end. Now this obviously is towards the front of the car. I will most likely be sleeping towards the back of the car. The platform inclines slightly towards the front, which is great because I like sleeping with my legs slightly elevated. So I'll be sleeping down here on the other end. You could sleep two people on the other end, but it tends to get a little narrow there with the cargo area. So most likely two people would sleep the other way, but it's up to you. I just am really happy on how this all came together, on how it's very user-friendly, and the cargo and the space. I can't tell you how excited I am for this all to truly have come to fruition. My local state park has recently reopened, not for overnight stays yet, but as soon as it is available, I'm going to head out there so I can check out this awesome new platform and see how it performs in real life, which I'm sure it's going to be just fine. Okay, now I'm just going to load everything back into the car. The only thing that I'm seen putting inside the car that I don't keep inside the car while I sleep is this 5-gallon bucket. That just stays outside all the time while I'm sleeping, but I do carry it with me, and I'm going to be seen putting it back into the car as I load everything back in. What I also like about this setup is when I load the front 40-inch sections of the platform onto the back 40-inch section, the brace actually acts as a little divider or a stop for everything else, which really helps when loading items back into the car. These little sections can come off and be secured on the back with a little line, which can attach to that little latch that the back seats attach to when they are folded upwards. It works really well to cinch everything together at the top. Now all that's left is to put the seats back to their upright position, put the headrest back on, push them all the way back because you have all that room, and get back on the road to our next adventure. Here's a second cool thing about this platform is if you leave the front sections and all your gear in the garage or your apartment or wherever you live, you can just leave the back 40-inch sections in the car. You can leave the plastic containers in there. You can have all the extra storage under it, in the plastic containers, and over it. In order to secure the platform, if you are going to leave it in your Crosstrek for extra storage space, I would secure it with a little line to those factory points that are already in the cargo area in your Crosstrek. Attach a little line to them, wrap it around the front of the platform and back around to the other side and cinch it tight. Therefore, it will not move if you come to a sudden stop while driving. Then you can attach another line to those little hooks that stick out there where the seats, when they fold back, they latch to. They make a perfect tie down. They're very solid. They're not going anywhere. You can attach a line to that up there, and then if you do store anything on top of that kind of carpeted, slick top, you can secure it so it doesn't go anywhere. I had cut a little notch here for removing it. It does actually look like it is helpful, but it's an optional thing. You don't have to put it on yours. All in all, I think storage wise, it is completely doable even if you live in a one bedroom efficiency.